Hi everyone. So lockdown's given me an opportunity to create some short video clips to support you at home if you're teaching your own children, and teachers if you're doing some of those Zoom lessons, and of course to be able to take these activities into your classroom once lockdown's over and we're back to our normal situation. Today I'm going to focus on phonemic awareness. And phonemic awareness is a crucial foundational skill that all our children need for spelling and for reading. So what is this phonemic awareness? Well, it's the ability to hear each individual sound in spoken words, to be able to blend those sounds together for reading, and to be able to segment or pull those sounds apart for spelling. So today I'm going to show you a little activity here that you can do at home. We've got this little what we call our sound mat or our word building mat. These two magnets here are going to represent the sounds in the spoken word. You see, you can do this before children have any knowledge yet of letters. But I'm going to show you how we can do it first with some counters or magnets, and then when children have that knowledge, how we can then introduce the letters into this activity. So down here, we have the two boxes that the children will bring their magnet or counter down to isolate and say the two individual sounds. And the arrow at the bottom is where we have the children slide their finger across to say the whole spoken word. So we start with the whole word, and the word might be am. We say the word am and ask the child to repeat it. And then we say, what I like to say is touch and say. And that means to touch and say each of these counters to represent each of the sounds in the word am. So we might say the word am, touch and say, a, Then I like to say build, because we're going to build the word. Now, this arrow here supports children to where to put their first counter into. First sound, a. Second one, a, And then we ask them to slide, am. Okay, do another one. So if the word is at, ask the children to say at, touch and say, at. Build, at. So we started up here with the complete word at. We segmented it into its individual sounds and we blended it back together to the full spoken word. Now we only start here with two sounds to begin with, because that's looking after the cognitive load of our little people and looking after their little well-being, not asking them to do something that's way beyond what they're able to do at the beginning stages of reading and spelling. What we might do then is we might add another, once we're good at doing two of those with two sounds, we might then introduce and do three sounds. Exactly the same as what we did before with two sounds. We'd say the whole word, touch and say, we can build, and then slide to say the complete word. So if the word is Sam, touch and say, s, a, build, s, a, and say the word Sam. Some children get to be able to do this with ease. So when we say touch and say, they may just be able to say s, a, and build that very quickly. S, a, Sam. Or if we change that up and said the word is sat, if they can do s, a, t, sat, that's fantastic. So we do that for lots and lots of CVC words, consonant, vowel, consonant words. And then when we've taught the children some letter to sound correspondences. If we go back to 2, just 2 sounds, keeping here. Once we've taught the children that these represent m, s, f, a, we can now start to actually build words with letters. But what we've done first, we've supported children to hear the sounds in spoken words just with counters. And now we're laying over another extra piece of knowledge for them. So we might say we're going to build the word am. Now down here they can touch and say a, First sound, a. Now they have to be able to connect the a to the grapheme or the letter. Pull that down, a, choose the letter, and then read the word am. Put them all back again and build another one. The word is as, as, as. And of course, once children get proficient at 2 sounds, then of course we can build back up to 3 sounds. So when we're asking children to do this, to build a word with these letters, and we ask them to build the word, and the word is Sam, to be able to choose these letters, of course, they have to be able to first do what we did back here, which was identify the sounds in that spoken word. So that's that phonemic awareness. Sam, s, a, So that's segmenting out each sound, and now is connect the sound to the letter. So this is that alphabetic principle of connecting those sounds to letters, which is crucial. S, a, and our word Sam. And of course, as children develop more and more letter knowledge, then we can add those to our circle and we can build more words. Of course, we always need a vowel to begin with when we're building our words. So we might have our 2 vowels and ask them to build the word tip. Touch and say t, p, t, p, and the word tip. So this is a wonderful activity that you can do at home, because you could draw one of these just on a piece of paper, you circle with either your 2 squares at the bottom and your arrow, or building up to 3 squares or even to 4 squares. And you could start with counters, or you could use other things in the house, maybe that the children would like to use to manipulate those sounds. And if you don't have magnetic letters like this, you can easily just make some little cards, little bits of paper, and put the letters, write the letters on them. So children are doing word building. So this is word building, and it's a wonderful bridge to actually word reading. But it's an important activity and a skill that we like children to be able to do very early on, once they've got some letter sound knowledge. Because in fact, phonemic awareness, there's a bit of debate right now about teaching phonemic awareness alongside letters. And so I've talked about phonemic awareness at the beginning, and I've introduced letters. So more and more research is saying that we will strengthen children's phonemic awareness if we are actually using letters alongside that. But we can't introduce letters to children who haven't got that letter knowledge first. So that's why if they don't have the letter knowledge, or they're not strong or really secure at that letter knowledge, then it makes sense just to use counters or magnets to begin with to represent those until they've built up that letter knowledge. Look, it's a fun activity. Once children get the hang of it, they're building and building many, many words. So I hope today it's given you a little activity, an understanding of phonemic awareness, and an activity that you can do with your children with just magnets, counters, and then maybe some letter tiles. So that's it for today. I'm going to start creating my next little video, and that'll be about manipulating those sounds or changing those sounds around. And that's the next step after word building. Hope that's helped. See you next time.